our buddy Joel Corry, former NFL agent turned writer, still getting it done over there at CBSSports.com. Probably been doing it for 6 or 7 years now. And he has some great pieces. He did one with the headline, Agents Take 2021 Contract Year Stock Watch. And he writes that several players have made themselves a lot of money this season, while other players are underperforming, and their free agent pay will reflect that. So there's a couple of Cowboys on this list. One who is making himself a lot of money. One is losing himself some money. Any guesses, boys?
On the Cowboys?
Yep.
A maker and a loser. Randy's making money?
He's not the player that Joel Corry went with, though he certainly could have. That's a player that's made himself a boatload of cash.
J-Ron Kearse is making money?
Yeah, Kearse is making money, I would say.
Okay, another good one. Not the one Joel Corry went with, though, but J-Ron Kearse getting paid.
Is it probably the one of the wide receivers, you think? You think he went out for one of the wide receivers?
Yeah,
You
it
think
would have
he
to be Gallup. He's the only
Gallup,
free agent.
Did not go with Michael Gallup.
Did not
either.
go with Gallup? Okay.
Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz.
Yeah,
ding,
Dalton Schultz.
Ding, ding. And I think that's the one right there I want to focus on, because I think a lot of Cowboy fans appreciate what he's done, but there's no way they can afford to keep him. The financial benchmark for Hunter Henry, $12.5 million. Corey writing, Schultz had a breakout 2020 campaign with 63 for 615, 4 touchdowns, thanks to Blake Jarwin's injury. Slated to be Dallas's tight end until Jarwin's injury, or blocking tight end until Jarwin's injury. Schultz hasn't looked back since winning a preseason competition with Jarwin to be the starter. Nearly matched his 2020 production through 13 games. Ranked 7th among tight ends with 53 catches, 8th in yards. 5th among tight ends with 267 yards after the catch. Getting it done with running.
Yeah, Joel's probably getting that from his agent, because that's I was hearing some whispers that's where they were looking to start these numbers.
The Hunter Henry deal?
Smith, was it Jonnu Smith?
Jonnu Smith,
yeah.
Jonnu Smith
Henry.
and those 100. Yeah, those were the numbers they were looking at.
Yeah, that's a you can go price. Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
That's a you may go price is what that is. Like there's 3, well, maybe there's more than 3. What do you got? You got Kelsey, Kittle, Waller. Am I missing one of the big ones? Kelsey, Kittle,
How about all
Waller.
those cats with the Ravens?
Gronk.
Gronk's still good, but like Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Dalton Schultz,
Chargers, I think.
they're not unique.
Yeah.
They're not uniquely good. So if you're talking about $10 or $12 million, if you are talking about 5 or 6% of a salary cap, nah.
Yeah, you're willing to do that for a big time star. There are now 7 tight ends making over $10 million a year, though.
Let me ask you this, though, boys. You want to pay a tight end or a running back?
I'd pay a tight end first. Like I would much rather pay Travis Kelce or George Kittle than a running back.
Okay,
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it's an easy one. Especially some of these dominant guys. I don't know, after the dominant guys, how difficult is it to replace the guys in Dalton Schultz camp? Like if you have one of these, not a game breaker, not a matchup nightmare, but dang it, he's got good production. How do you value that?
I'll tell you what, they've actually developed. I mean, I remember watching Stanford tape and feeling like this guy was going to be good, and then it kind of went south, and then all of a sudden he got the opportunity to go out there and play. So they really, give him credit. He's always had the talent, but I feel like they've developed him, which means to me, I'm going to go out and scout and find another tight end just like him.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out and find a 4th round guy that's at Stanford or Oregon or USC or one of those places, and I'm going to develop him just like I did this guy.
I'm also mostly anti-tight end unless you can do everything. And I don't think the Cowboys tight ends block well.
They don't have tight ends that could do everything anymore.
Right.
Those days are over.
In which case,
it's over.
Forget them.
Yeah.
Like find me a jumbo wide receiver or a little wide receiver, and let's play with one of those.
The best blocking tight end I think I've ever seen was the Hawkinson guy at the Detroit coming out of Iowa.
TJ.
Yeah, him and Noah Fant I think were the 2 at Iowa at the time, right?
Yes, and Fant was the receiver one.
Yeah, and you're watching these guys, and like Hawkinson, he's like knocking guys over by the cheerleaders kind of guy, and he's a good player. I mean, he catches the ball, he's a blocker. But nowadays, if you say somebody's a blocker, you're saying something that's like, what? Oh, he can actually block? Yeah. These cats don't block. They just don't.
Okay, and then the rare Cowboy who is struggling this year, coming up to a big free agency. We just talked about him. And
Connor Williams, probably.
Oh, Connor Williams. Yeah, there's one. But no, he went with Leighton Vander Esch.
Oh, okay.
and said the financial benchmark for what his agent will probably be looking at is the Jared Davis contract from last year, which was $5.5 million average over 3 seasons, $5.5 million in guarantees. I don't know. Is there any way in these next 4 games, you mentioned Gallimore and the impact that maybe that had for Leighton Vander Esch, could you see him playing well enough that he could be back for the Cowboys next year, who don't have much at inside linebacker?
We're looking at teams. Okay, you look at the end of the season. What are teams potentially are just going to wham the ball at you? Eagles wham the ball at you. Arizona's going to make you.
49ers will wham the ball at you.
Well, Arizona's going to make you play in space. I'm just talking about the teams that are the games that are left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Giants are going to try and run the ball at you.
Yeah.
Football team is going to try and run the ball at you, now what they are.
Yeah.
Arizona's going to make you play in space, and Philadelphia. He's got 4 games where he's going to have teams potentially just kind of run the ball at him and see if he could be physical enough to hold up. In the playoffs, he'll get exposed because teams will try and put him in coverage. And that won't help him, I don't think.
I think he is the second linebacker this year that we are seeing that's on the Cowboys. I know he just had a good game, that his body is telling him we can't do this.
Yeah.
I think that's my theory on Vander Esch, is even in this offseason, when you saw him outside of uniform, but like what you would wear for a calendar shoot, like a fireman calendar, like, you're like, golly, look at the way that dude's put together. If you see him in the locker room after
games. He used to be like that. What happened?
He don't look like that no more.
He's just too beat up.
He looks like me.
Yeah. But you go get that taken care of, though.
I don't know. I think what is it called? Stenosis. I think the spinal stenosis.
No, I was talking about your.
I get taken care of.
That's what I'm saying.
I can get as good as I can get.
Yeah, but
I'm
for
trying
him,
to get to where Leighton is.
No. Injury has robbed 2 linebackers of a career here. Sean Lee and this guy.